Hey, can you guys quiet it down out there? I'm literally on the other side of the door. I'm trying to record a podcast. I'm just going to move this mattress up next to the door. That'll take care of it. It ain't a perfect situation, but it'll do for now. Let's roll the tape. Aloha, Scooterheads. I'm your host who eats the most toast Dagwood streets in this episode of the Electric Scooter Podcast. We have a hodgepodge, an assemblage, an assortment, if you will, a mixed bag, a potpourri, a mishmash. Should I keep going? I think you get the idea. I originally had planned an interview with Ed the pilot, but he had to deliver an airplane, and obviously work comes first. So I have a lot of things that have been hanging on in the back of my melon, in the recesses of my cranium, that I've kind of been wanting to talk about. So let's go ahead and do that today. Let's just get out a bunch of stuff out of the way. We're going to have some news. I promised 2 episodes ago to talk about the Aike T. We're going to talk about that. Maybe another scooter called the Okai Beetle. O-K-A-I. Okai Beetle. That's an interesting looking scooter. And the thing is, I'm bringing to your attention a couple more scooters that I'm not recommending. I haven't ridden. They're just out there, they're interesting, and I want to bring them to your attention because I assume that you are like me and that you are not just riding scooters just to get to and from school, work, or wherever. You're genuinely interested in scooters. If not,
What are you doing here?
some of the topics, I don't know if we'll get to them all, that have been floating around the back of my head are summer riding gear, why I ride my scooter a lot more than my e-bike. I also may mention a couple YouTube videos that are pretty cool. How about this? This probably should be an entire episode, but the history of scooters isn't really that exciting. I'm not sure that it's worth an entire episode, so we may blow through that quickly today. But first, I've been promising over the last couple episodes to talk about the Aike T. A-I-K-E. And then the letter T. Aike T. Made in Estonia. And when I say made in Estonia, I mean their supply chain is all from a 2-hour radius of their factory. They make their own electronics and they assemble their own battery packs. They also say that their factory runs exclusively on renewable energy. There are a lot of features about this particular scooter that are really cool on paper, and I'll tell you a couple. That I read from my phone, but this part, I'm not looking at the phone, I'm not looking at the computer. I remember, for one thing, that they can be charged by USB-C. How cool is that? If you have a Mac or even PCs, yeah, that's the standard USB plug nowadays, right? Is USB-C. So if you plug it into your regular charger, it'll take 4 hours, and it's double that if you use USB-C, which makes sense. I mean, you could charge your scooter from your laptop. So what's so great about USB-C charging if it takes twice as long? Well, how about if you're riding to and from work? You don't have to carry a big, bulky charger and everybody's tripping over it at work or school or whatever. You get free power because you're in a classroom or at work. You have USB-C. You could just plug it into the wall directly. Nobody will notice. That's just one thing I thought of off the top of my head, but there's plenty of good. How about if you're traveling, you're going long distance, whatever, and you bring your scooter with you? You don't want to bring that big old charger because you're only going to be using it a couple times. I think you get the idea. And as you know, I'm maybe notoriously known to be anti-excess, high-tech, things like anti-theft and GPS. Some of the crazy stuff they put on scooters charge you a bunch of money, but none of us will use, or very few of us will use, except for the guys making reviews on scooters, maybe. But it does have an app, which I do like, because you don't have to go through your program modes. I'm assuming if it's like other apps on other scooters, you can change whether you want it to kick to get started, or if it can start from zero. Things like your cruise control, regenerative brakes, even your headlights, whatever. You might want to use your phone. And it has some kind of place to put your phone. It's not like the Apollo Pro where you kind of have to have, you could ride it without your phone, but your phone is your display mounted on your handlebars. This, from what it sounds like, has its own display, but you can add your phone to it if you want to as kind of an accessory. And this kind of anti-theft, I don't mind so much either. I have it on my motorcycle to where if somebody walks by it, it goes like, whoop. But if somebody jiggles it or touches it, it goes, ree, ree, ree. And if somebody tries to ride it away, it really goes nuts. But on this scooter, I believe the newer scooters coming out that have this type of anti-theft either disables the throttle or engages the brake so it can't be driven away. So that kind of technology, I don't mind. It's nice having an app. And if somebody, smacks into your scooter, I don't know if there's different settings you can set it at, but at least you'll hear it as it's being taken away. They pick it up and throw it in the back of a truck anyway. You should never leave your scooter alone. I tell people that all the time. They're small enough. You can bring them into convenience stores. You can take them into your classroom and set them by the wall or in between your desks. You can put it under your desk at work, whatever. That's the real anti-theft device, is keeping your scooter within eyesight, but preferably close to your body. So these guys from Estonia that make this scooter, they have a sense of humor. They have accented English. Their English is very good. But they're kind of poking fun and having fun in this video. Listening to it is not the same as watching it. Go to the Electric Scooter Guide YouTube video about this video, the short commercial, because Paul Somerville makes some comments. And it is a cool video. It's one of the big things that they're advertising about this Aike T, manufactured in Estonia, is that it's super waterproof. I think it comes with some kind of container that you can carry it in or something, because at the end of the video, you'll hear a splash. I have to set this up for you because you're not getting a visual, but it's only a minute and a half long, so cool your jets, okay? Just patience, just listen to it anyway. You'll hear a splash in the water, and that's because the rider packed the scooter, apparently you don't see that part, into some kind of bag, throws it into the water, and then fully clothed dives in after it and starts swimming in the ocean or lake or whatever it is, towing the scooter behind him. That's probably a valid use case scenario, right? I don't know if that will happen to me soon anyway, but it's kind of cool. It just shows they have a tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic, dry, funny, but also kind of current and hip sense of humor. Wow, I sound like I'm talking about an Academy Award-winning movie, huh? Let's listen to the audio for the Aike T.
What is Aike? Well, Aike is the ride of your life. Its durably built puncture-resistant tires can handle even the most radical rides. Forget the old Nokia phone. Aike is the new unbreakable kid on the block. Walking on water, psst, old news. What about riding in water? Fish, submarines, and other underwater equipment aside, Aike is probably the most waterproof thing ever created. Aike can hold up to 150 kilograms at the same time. That's roughly the average weight of a single sumo wrestler. But you don't have to become one, but you can if you really want to. If someone tries to steal your thunder, you'll get an immediate notification on your app, triggering the brake lock on your scooter and kicking off the alarm. You don't have to have any previous knowledge about e-scooters to own an Aike. Aike and its parts are made in Europe, making service and maintenance lightning fast. This is as close as you can get to Formula One racing. Don't spend a moment without your Aike e-scooter. Fold it up, pack it in, the world is your oyster.
He's walking across the pier, coming to the end, ready to dive in. And there he goes, towing his scooter, just like you or I would do on an average day, am I right? Before we talk about the next scooter, which is the Okai Beetle, and again, just in a fun, quick kind of way, let's get to some news. The Electric Scooter Podcast news. It's good for you. Sprinkle it on your cereal in the morning. It's delicious. It'll make you more attractive to the opposite sex. ESPN. Electric Scooter Podcast. Podcast news. ESPN. ESPN. In the news, not far from the Scooter Dome in fabulous Las Vegas, they are going to build a stadium. What is the significance? Well, it's going to be a stadium fit for basketball. Las Vegas may be getting an NBA team. What does that have to do with electric scooters? Well, I just have this crazy idea because the NBA season only lasts a certain part of the year, right? How about this? Electric scooter racing that you can put your money down and gamble on. Just an idea. Also in the news, Electric Scooter Podcast interview alumni Ginger on Wheels will soon launch 2 products. When, we don't know. One's called Ginger Goo, goes in your tires to keep you rolling after you get a flat. The other's called Firelight. You can guess what that is. It's a headlamp that straps onto your handlebars. Now, if you have a scooter with a low-mounted headlight, you're going to need one of these. And he tests everything out to the millionth degree. Summer gear makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine that's in my mind. Summer gear, how does it make you feel? Hopefully cool. You want to know how hot it is? We have a lot of crime in Las Vegas. I saw a cop chasing a thief, and they were both walking. My buddy's got a dairy farm down the street. His cows are giving powdered milk. That's how hot it is. Well, living in Las Vegas, we're used to the heat. The thermometer on the side of my house goes up to, are you kidding me? Is this a joke? It's so hot, I bought a loaf of bread, and before I got home, it was toast. I got condensation on my butt from the water in the toilet bowl. I'm telling you, it's hot. You think it's just hot in Las Vegas? You see on the news in Europe, everybody's melting. In countries, a lot of people are dying because they don't have air conditioners because it usually doesn't get this hot, so the people are not used to it. It's just hot. However hot it is, wherever you are, unless you're in Bullhead City or Death Valley, maybe Phoenix, you're probably not as hot as the Scooter Dome right now because we're cooking. I'm telling you, it's hot. So summer gear. I recommend for a helmet that you use an off-road type helmet with maximum ventilation. If you live somewhere hot, you already know that. If you live somewhere that used to be cool and now it's hot, hey, maybe this is breaking information for you. I don't know. You also want to get a jacket that is made for summertime. I know a lot of people wear arm pads, and some people wear hip pads and things like that, but I like just tossing on a jacket. And some of these jackets, it seems like you're cooler actually while you're wearing it than when you're not wearing it. Not when you're at a stop, but when you get going, the wind goes through all the little teeny holes that they've perforated into the jacket. And the way it disperses the temperature and the wind, I don't know. It just seems to me cooler. I can't prove that scientifically. Don't know for sure. Just telling you, feels good to me. Also, I like the gloves that have cut off fingers. The company, I got a bunch of gloves. I have a whole bunch of gloves. The ones I'm rocking currently are by N-Bike. Letter N and then B-I-K-E. I really like those. And they match my Shoei RF-1200. But I only wear the Shoei RF-1200 helmet when I'm on motorcycles. When I am on the scooter, it is my Bell off-road helmet. I'm rocking the Bell MX-9. Really, I bought it because it looks cool. It wasn't super expensive. And it has MIPS. MIPS is a technology that slows your brain from slamming into your skull if you hit something really hard, like I've done a number of times. But an off-road helmet or motocross type helmet or BMX type helmet is going to have something going over your forehead, like a bill, you would say, on a cap, but it's solid. And so that helps to keep the sun out of your eyes, but you are going to need something for your eyes, either sunglasses or something that's going to keep the dust out of your eyes, because these type of helmets do not have a face shield. So those are my top recommendations. There are a lot of other things you can do. Make sure you wear high top shoes, but get the ventilated hiking boot type, not solid leather. I mean, I do have solid leather and I have different materials. I have some Alpine Stars. I have different things, but I'm only going to use those when it's cold out. I have the best Merrell hiking boots. Not the most expensive. I just say the best because I bought these in 2008, and I have walked over more rocks and desert type material than you would believe. If I actually told you how much I wore these boots since 2008, over crushed rock, over gravel, climbing over boulders in the dirt, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And yet they are not worn at the rear of the heel. There are two types of walkers. Well, at least two basics. What is it? Supinator and what's the other one? You either wear to the outside of the heel or to the inside of the heel. And these Merrell hiking boots, they look like they have no wear and tear on them. It just blows my mind. But they're also good scooter shoes. So let's go with the gloves with the fingers cut off just because it's cooler. But you still want to have good palm padding, right? I know they focus on knuckles a lot. I don't seem to hit my knuckles a lot because when you go down, your immediate reaction is to put your palms out and try and brace your fall. So I don't worry too much. Just a little piece of leather over the knuckle is fine, but you definitely want nice palms. And some people say you want the kind that skid. You don't want a glove with a palm pad that's going to grip the asphalt because it's just going to slam your bones. You'll end up like me with a broken humerus. I think they could make it out of shark, out of manta. There's a lot of exotic type skins and substances, materials they can use. I don't personally own them, but that's what they say. In fact, it was Paul Somerville when I interviewed him for the Electric Scooter Guide, and he mentioned a specific type of glove. I looked them up, and they're, woo, woo, they were like a little rich for my blood. They were expensive, nice gloves. So I don't even recall the name of them because it wasn't within my budget to purchase them. Anyway, as a host who eats the most toast, I should probably remember it because, hey, maybe some of you bougies out there listening, right? When I visited Fat Scooters and they listed to me their clientele, it was people with money. I couldn't even say all of them because he didn't want me to. I know it was okay, Bill Murray, it was okay to say him, and there's a few basketball players that you would recognize, even if you don't watch basketball. Can I say that? There's also the CEO of a large Italian car manufacturer that is well known. And he has a scooter. He has a Fat Scooter because you can customize them however you want. You can, buy one for $4,000 or you can buy one for $24,000, depending on what you want done to it. Not everybody who rides a scooter because they can't afford a car or they have a DUI. A lot of people ride scooters because scooters are fun and scooters are cool. I don't care what other people think, but for those who care what other people think, when other people see Bill Murray cruise by on his scooter, Ashton Kutcher, he doesn't have a Fat Scooter, but he rides scooters. There's a lot of celebrities that ride scooters. What immediately leaps to your mind, you think, there's a responsible citizen. It's like the state of California now. When you drive through a neighborhood, remember it used to be the brown lawns were the people that, they don't take care of their yard. Now it's the opposite because they're having such water issues. A brown lawn is the sign of a good citizen, someone who cares about the environment. You can just drive through the neighborhoods and see, that guy's responsible. Oh, look at the folks living over here. They're doing good, man. Their lawn's nice and brown. Toasty. I'm liking it. The Electric Scooter Podcast is big, bold, and brassy, just like the state of Texas.
Now, before you enjoy Dinah Shore, the Four Tops, and Sergeant Barry Sadler from Vietnam, this word about a fine product.
Hello. See these little fellas? They're the Beatles. They're yours for just $2 and 2 wrappers from Dove or Lux or Lifebuoy soap. You'll find the Beatles at your supermarket in this display. For full details, visit this display at your supermarket and have the Beatles for your very own.
I apologize, Scooterheads, for intentionally misleading you. You're not going to get a Beetle for a couple soap wrappers. And it's a different Beetle. Now, the original Beatles, according to George Harrison, were named by John. He said they wanted something that had an insect name in it. I think they liked Buddy Holly and the Crickets. So John came up with the Beatles, but he's like, hey, instead of B-E-E-T, let's go with B-E-A-T. Get it? We hit the drums on the beat. We got the beat, that kind of thing. So that's how the Beatles got their name. This Beetle is the B-E-E-T-L-E. More like a Volkswagen Beetle, I suppose, or the actual insect. And it does have very much a Volkswagen Beetle look to it. That's where it draws its inspiration, I'm sure. There's not a place in my garage for it, to be honest with you, but there are a lot of things to really like about this scooter. It's made by Okai, O-K-A-I. They are a massive scooter and e-bike manufacturer. You've just never heard of them, but they made scooters for a lot of the rideshare, Bird, Lime, all these different companies. Also e-bikes with different names, but if you go on the internet, like I did. I'm not bragging, but yeah, I have access to the internet. That's right. I pay for Wi-Fi in my home. And I was able to look at pictures of their factory. They are massive. I also got to speak with the folks at Okai during CES, the Consumer Electronics Show here in Las Vegas this previous January. They are huge. So I would say they are going to make a reliable product. And even though this is a seated scooter, which again, I'm not really for that. I just don't have a place for sitting my butt down on a scooter and going anywhere really. But you may. There's a lot of people who like that. And this is an established brand. Check it out. It comes with 10-inch tubeless pneumatic tires. It also comes in 3 colors: black, white, and pink. They called it Beetle because they wanted to have like a vintage design that brings to mind, let's say, Vespa. It has, according to them, 25 miles of range. Let me back up and say, you can buy this scooter on Amazon. In the United States, it's $700. Seems to me like a deal. Foldable seat, 25 miles of range, 15.5 miles per hour. I went ahead and read some of the reviews on Amazon, and one guy said he uses it to commute 20 miles one way to work. So they claim 25. He actually can get 20. I was going to guess like 17 or 18 miles of actual range, but he said he rides his Okai, O-K-A-I, Beetle electric scooter to work 20 miles, plugs it in at work, and rides it home. So it is doable. It's got electronic brakes and a mechanical drum brake, which, as you know, I like the mechanical drum brake, always have. Pneumatic tires are great for absorbing bumps. If you don't have shocks on your vehicle, sometimes that is enough to compensate. And if you like sports cars and you like the feeling of being close to the road, it can be actually a very good thing to not have a suspension, but to have pneumatic tires. You don't want no suspension in solid tires. That's that's going to be uncomfortable. It also has a nice little hook on the stem, which I put on my other scooters to hang groceries. Now, when I say I put them on my other scooters, I buy baby stroller hooks that hang off the handlebars. That'll work too. It's just a cheap little piece of plastic, but amazing how handy it is. And this scooter, the Okai Beetle, is also designed so that you can put a basket for the Beetle. It weighs 2.5 pounds. You can buy it from the company. It has a phone app. Again, I am for the apps that come with your scooter. I don't necessarily like all the high-tech stuff, but that is one thing that I do like. 15 miles an hour. One person on Amazon said 15 miles an hour sounds slow till you're actually doing it. Putting it together was ridiculously easy. Another person says amazing bike, very stable to ride in all kinds of terrain. Came in a very nice package and it was easy to assemble. Extra star to the customer support. They're quick to respond and help you with questions. Now, of course, this person, I don't know if they're a tinfoil hat or not. They want to control you with their app. They change phone call on the app, I don't know what that means, and have access to your pictures and all the files on your phone. Not me. Spying is what it is. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, it could be a tin hat kind of thing. But it could be real. I don't know. Why do the Chinese or a scooter company want access to your photographs? And is that the best way to do it, through a scooter app? I don't know. Maybe it is. What do I know? I don't know what they're doing. But my logical thinking mind says, nah, I don't think so. Usually these invasive apps are used to help sell things, to present to you things that they think you may want to buy. And that may actually be handy. Maybe on your scooter app pops up, hey, you want to buy the basket? It's $40 and we'll ship it to you. It could be something like that. My logical mind tells me that's more likely than they want to see if you're messing around on your spouse so they can blackmail you, or they want to get into your bank account.
Introducing the Okai Beetle, the result of 15 plus years of hardware production and a product of Okai's vision to provide safe, smarter urban electrical transportation. The Okai Beetle is equipped with a robust 350-watt motor, which is ideal for riders on nice flat urban terrain, with up to 40 kilometers of travel from a single charge. Charge your Okai Beetle through the supplied wall charger wherever you go. You can remove the 3-kilogram battery separate from the scooter to charge it independently. There are 3 ways to locking and unlocking. Access locking through the app on your smartphone device, through NFC connectivity, or through the supplied key to ensure it stays safe from theft. When commuting, monitor your speed and battery power through the digital display on the handles. The Okai Beetle is built with high-quality safety features, including front and rear drum brakes, to ensure safe deceleration. With a top speed of 25 kilometers per hour, you can be assured that you will brake safely when required. You can take the Okai Beetle anywhere, even to get some groceries. The smart, compact, foldable design allows you to store it anywhere when not in use, or use the kickstand to stand it upright when you dismount. Go green and ride in style with the Okai Beetle.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make you a little beetle. How does my little Roman beetle look? Okay?
That was Ed Sullivan talking to a little Muppet-like puppet called, I think the name was Topo Gigio. Back then, everybody thought it was so cute, but wow, when I listen to that voice now, creepy. Speaking of creepy, time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana, and time has been creeping up on us. Until next time, keep the shiny side up and the dirty side down, which means wear your gear and stay safe. Aloha!